In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at your justification of choices. So this is the part of your report where you are explaining and justifying why it is that you're cooking exactly what it is you're cooking. There are 4 key points that you need to address within your justification of dishes. The first one requires you to think back to the design brief. You need to justify that your choices actually answer the key points in the design brief. A very easy justification would be to talk about the fact that you have at least 2 savoury and 2 sweet dishes planned for your afternoon tea. This is specifically identified as a necessity on the design brief. Something that needs a little bit more consideration though is the fact that you are creating afternoon tea dishes. For this part of the design brief, you need to consider that each of your dishes actually would be suitable if it was served in an afternoon tea. So think back to your research and what actually looks like an afternoon tea. What are the features of it? It might be that you talk about the presentation, how you're serving it, but I think importantly you need to consider the fact that you are presenting small bite-sized dishes that can be eaten with the hands and that aren't a main meal. The next topic you'd need to consider is the theme of your afternoon tea. You'd start off by stating what your theme is and then explain how you have considered this when planning your afternoon tea and specifically the individual products. So this might be what it is you're actually making, but is more likely to be in relation to your presentation. So your justification can talk about the techniques you're using to present your afternoon tea, perhaps the colours you're using in terms of icing, or even the way that you're dressing your table spread. All of these are choices that you have made, and you need to be able to justify those choices. You can do so by linking it back to your theme. The next point is your target market. Have you considered specifically who your target market is going to be for your afternoon tea? If you have, this is probably going to make this task a little bit easier because you've got a specific group of people in mind. What you need to do in your justification is explain how your design for your afternoon tea would specifically appeal to your target market. So again, you could be talking about flavours and you could be talking about the theme. How is it that you're going to make your products sellable to a particular group of people? What is it that will stand out about your afternoon tea to your target market and make them want to pay money for it? Next up, your practical work. You have been completing practice dishes throughout the duration of the course. But specifically in terms of your research, you have completed a range of both sweet and savoury afternoon tea dishes for consideration into your final afternoon tea. Here's your opportunity to justify why you are either choosing to use some of those dishes or choosing to disregard them. And you could refer to your evaluations or the feedback that you collected from other people on this to help you here. And finally, you want to be discussing the practical skills that you imagine you will be demonstrated in your final afternoon tea. This is a final showcase and an opportunity for you to demonstrate exactly what you're capable of. You want this to be as good as it possibly can be, so you should show a wide range of different practical skills, including some high-level skills. What I don't want you to do is to talk about choosing particular dishes because you think they'll be easy to make. This is really an opportunity for you to show me everything that you're capable of, and it's an opportunity to show off your skills. So you shouldn't have been choosing dishes that are too easy to make. You want to challenge yourself. Now, skills don't necessarily just mean the practical skills in the sense of making the products. You could also talk about how you're dressing the table, and perhaps you're making props or name cards for the table to make the presentation even better. So here is your final opportunity to signpost this as well. Talk about any other skills that you're bringing to the table, quite literally, when making your final afternoon tea.